So there's this Supreme Court hearing, right, on the transgender issue recently. Yeah. I think it was just yesterday. And I got to tell you, Devin, just for once, I'd like somebody on the Supreme Court to just be like totally dismissive of the whole transgender issue. Right? Like,
oh my God.
Wouldn't it be awesome if like Alito or Thomas just started off with, hey, before we begin, I just wanted to start off by saying, are you guys crazy?
Yeah.
Like, what's the matter with you? Guys and girls' bathrooms and locker rooms, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like, are you idiots? No. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's amazing. I'd like to say, like, this is a time where, you know, we're calling out and saying that the emperor has no clothes.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's more like, hey, the emperor is wearing women's clothing. Right? I mean, isn't that crazy?
It really is exactly. It's like,
exactly
that's a man.
That's
Come on,
dude.
people. Yeah.
Like, why are we talking about this? And you're bothering us in the Supreme Court level? And I've heard so many people say, like, well, there's only a couple people. Okay.
Who cares?
Well, if it's only a couple people, then why are we in front of the effing Supreme Court?
Yeah.
So either it's a lot of people or it's an insignificant amount of people.
And we have room in mental hospitals for those insignificant amount. Let's just lock them up.
No, they actually are. A lot of them are mentally ill. There's no, or they have mental illness. Okay, and mental illness is a serious problem in America.
Yeah, if you think you're a guy and you're actually a girl or opposite,
that is a mental illness.
Yeah.
And that's okay. They have the right to live, and we can love them, we can respect them, but don't tell me that we have to lean into your mental illness. It's as simple as that. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But
okay.
The more important story is about Iran, and I want to talk about that too.
Yeah.
But our theme today, okay. Why can't the left just admit that they are wrong? How's that for a theme?
Yeah, about time somebody said something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are wrong over and over again. Okay. I mean, I always had that litmus test, right?
Yeah.
Show me one policy or agenda or law that you guys have advanced that Republicans have opposed that has worked.
Yeah.
And where you could say, you Democrats can say, yeah, you see, we told you so.
Yeah.
Up yours, Republicans. I'd like to, what? And we talked about the three things they always say: Social Security, the New Deal, and civil rights. Okay, none of them apply. They're all wrong. It all fails.
Yeah.
So, but they can't. And even if they were all correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean that? I mean, that's a drop in the bucket compared to all the disasters, the Hindenburgs, the Titanics, right? I mean, the October 7s, the Pearl Harbors you've given us.
Yeah.
That these are terrible ideas that you have. They always fail.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's madness. So, but they can never admit when they're wrong. So, for example, now it turns out that Trump did in fact tame inflation. It's 2.7%. They said it was going to go massively higher because of the tariffs and many other things, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you admit you're wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said that the GDP would be a disaster. Okay. We'd go into recession right away. Nope.
Hasn't happened.
At the end of the quarter, ending in September of 2025, it was a 4.3 GDP, which is a fantastic number.
Yeah. As
it turns out, at the end of the year, December, guess what number it is?
I don't know, actually.
5.4.
Wow.
Okay,
yeah.
that is an insane GDP number.
Yeah.
And that's going to get better, even better. I mean, I would be ecstatic if we had 3.5%, which is a very good clip.
Right.
That's a very healthy economy.
Yeah.
When you're talking about 5, even 4, it is humming along in a fantastic way. So, well, we don't feel it, and it's still things are too. No, we are not going to go back to 2019 prices.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like that.
Yeah.
But you can blame your buddy, your pal Joe Biden, for the disaster. Okay, inflation means it doesn't go backwards. It means that we just don't accelerate as much forwards. In the pricing. So you got the eggs and everything else, right? They have gone down dramatically.
Yeah.
Okay, and especially gas prices. We'll talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Now, Iran. That is also, Trump was right about that. Okay, we are now destroying Iran. Okay, they said it was going to be World War III. You're wrong.
No.
Okay, even when they said that when Trump was going to bomb Iran to destroy the facilities, Tucker Carlson, your buddy, I don't know whether you hang out with him.
Oh, all the time, yeah, but yeah.
He said it's going to lead to World War III.
Yeah.
It's going to be a major confrontation. It's going to be terrible. You could just hear the Qataris supporting him and whispering like Cyrano into his ear. This is what you say.
Tell Trump he's awesome.
But anyway, they were wrong about that as well.
Yeah.
They were wrong about the GDP. They were wrong about the inflation. They were wrong about everything.
Yeah.
And they still continue to be wrong.
Right.
Okay. So you can't tell me that what's happening in Iran is not the product of Trump's, forceful measures.
Yeah.
And then Venezuela. I mean, how could you not say that was a great thing? Right?
Just the photo of him in the little Nike jumpsuit with the sunglasses on, that alone is worth it.
Well, he looks stylish. So I mean, but I don't know why you're bringing that up.
We all have that jumpsuit, but yeah.
That's right. It's not, he wears it well.
Yeah.
He can work it. Yeah. You and I, maybe not.
Maybe
Maduro,
not.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a digression, I suppose. But Venezuela was a fantastic result. And you can't admit it. You just can't get yourself to admit that was awesome.
Yeah.
Just say, I don't like anything else. But you know what? I like what he did with Maduro. That's good.
Yeah.
We got rid of this bad guy. And hopefully there'll be a good transition and everything will be wonderful.
Right.
But they can't even agree in Iran. Everything is going really well. And then, of course, he stopped the flow of the illegal immigration at the border. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys, you said that it was going to be impossible to do without bipartisan support in a bill.
Right.
And you accused us of stalling you for some reason.
Yeah.
Now we have zero
yeah.
illegal immigrants crossing the border from Mexico.
And we have
zero.
negative. People are leaving now.
And people are leaving.
It's amazing.
And can you admit you're wrong about that?
Yeah.
No. You just can't. And so it begs the question, why is it? You have that friend who is just a jerk, and you catch him in either a lie or a big mistake of some kind, and he just won't admit that he was wrong.
Yeah. He bloviates. And then he changes the subject or starts a fight.
Or he doubles down on it,
Yeah.
or he creates some sort of diversion.
Yeah.
And you say, Charlie, come on, just say you're wrong and let's move on. And then he keeps on doubling down, and you're embarrassed for him because everyone around him knows that he lied or he made that big mistake, a big gaffe, whatever it might be. And he just keeps on going. And he looks like a fool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lefties, why can't you do that?
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is that it's their religion. And the moment you admit that you were wrong about something like that, it undermines your religion.
Yeah.
Right? It's like telling a Christian that, you know what, I believe in everything, but it turns out I was wrong about Jesus dying on the cross and then coming back to life again,
right?
Being resurrected. Okay, I was wrong about that. No, that would destroy your religion,
right?
Okay, now that's what I mean in the sense of religion, because in their religion, lefty religion, Trump always has to be wrong,
right?
And they can never be wrong,
right?
Everything he does is fascist. Everything he does is in the service of a great dictatorship. And they know exactly what he really wants. He wants to keep women in the kitchen. He wants to be racist. He wants to judge everyone by their color and their background, Hispanics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And no one is safe in America.
Yeah.
So the minute they realize that they've been wrong with all their predictions, then what do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the cultist who says the world will end tomorrow. And then, of course, it doesn't end tomorrow. How do they rectify that? They say, oh, well, we were being tested,
right?
Right? And it'll end, on February 21st of the year 2032.
Yeah.
And then we wait for that.
Yeah.
And so on and so on.
And that's exactly how they did it with... They will do it with Rubio or J.D. Vance, whoever becomes the next. Trump was wonderful. He was so moderate compared to these Nazis.
Oh, yes.
Compared to these evil. And that's one way they'll always tack.
Yeah.
The present or the future president, Republican, is way worse than that previous
right. Oh, it's
one
always worse. Yeah.
That we called was the worst
I
human
wish
ever.
we just had Trump. That would be great.
Yeah, he was so much better.
That's what's it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You and I know that because, and how do we know that? Because they said that about Bush.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bush was the most evil thing on the planet, and now they just wish what a great statesman he was. He was wonderful.
Romney was so moderate and so wonderful.
Listen.
But, yeah.
So that is interesting thing. So they can't admit that they're wrong.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating for you and me because, we hear a news story about a great success and we think, okay, great.
Yeah.
Now they'll come to terms and say, that was not a bad thing that happened. And they just can't get themselves to do it.
Yeah.
They couldn't even agree that they were wrong about the movement of the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, that they were wrong. They said it was going to lead to a massive war in the Middle East. There was barely a firecracker that was lit.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And it was a good thing, and everyone was happy about that.
Right.
And then you had one schmuck Democrat who said that if he runs for president or if he becomes president again, he will move the embassy back to Tel Aviv.
Wait,
like, really?
That? Was that?
I forget who it was.
Okay,
it was a Democrat, of course.
Yeah.
But that's insane.
Yeah.
And you, I understand that you're cowering in fear that moving the embassy might create some sort of unnecessary conflict, so let's not do that. But now that it's been moved, why would you move it back?
Right.
You idiots. They can't admit that they were wrong about that.
Yeah.
They can't admit that Trump succeeded in creating peace. What is it, 8 times over already?
Yeah.
In the span of 11 months?
It's amazing.
It's an amazing thing. And then Iran will be his 9th, and that's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay, by creating a regime change without us really being very involved at all.
Yeah.
There may be some attack in the near future. I predict that there will be, but not an actual kinetic war from our point of view. We might throw a couple bombs there.
Yeah.
We might do a little bit of what the Israelis did in the 12-day war in this past year. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great result, and the Iranians will support it.
Yeah.
What happens then, my dear lefty friends? Because I do know that you lefty guys, you do agree that the mullahs are bad people. Right?
You got to lock them down first.
That's true.
That whole feminism thing in Iran, that's bad,
good
right?
point. I don't know that they disagree with it now that I think about it.
It depends when they say it in the conversation,
yes.
But yeah.
Anyway, that's my theme. I think that they're very keen on never admitting that they're wrong, because that would be basically saying that their religion is faulty.
Right.
It's based on a weak foundation. And they are so certain of themselves. It's amazing. Devin, you've never seen anybody with such religious zeal as you will have in a leftist.
It is one of those amazing things, like the Tinkerbell thing. If you truly believe that Tinkerbell is, but if one person doesn't believe, they've really, not that, okay, practically 2.5% will be better than 2.8% or something like that for taxes. Who it doesn't really matter, but they're so locked in. No, we have to have taxes, and if we believe it's good and that's the only thing that matters, that's going to be, that's where they're actually, they can never,
I'll pretend to understand what you just said.
I lost my train of thought. But
now moving on to Iran. All right. You know what's awesome about Iran?
Yeah.
And I really mean this.
Yeah.
How young students here in America are protesting the mullahs and all the evils that they've been doing in Iran.
Yeah.
These college students are setting up camps demanding the end of this horrific Iranian mullah regime.
Nice. In America? They're doing that?
To all over the place.
Way.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
And they're also protesting the massive genocide that's going on by the Iranian mullah regime. Reports are everywhere. If you look for it, it's that they killed up to 20,000 people so far. And the good students of Columbia and Harvard and Yale are all setting up camps in protest of the Iranian regime.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful to see that. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. It would be if it were happening.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You had me for a second. But
I had you.
Yeah.
So easily gullible, this guy. It's amazing that they will not fight against the mullahs. Why? I mean, this is a real genocide going on.
Yeah.
A real slaughter of innocent people. There are no combatants in the same way that there really are combatants in Gaza.
Yeah.
There were, but their agenda is far greater.
Yeah.
And that is the agenda to destroy Israel. The agenda to destroy Western civilization is more important to them than anything else that they believe.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. And this is exactly the same as Foucault said in 1978, this bizarre
this crazy
gay socialist journalist. He welcomed the Khomeini regime in Iran.
Really?
Yeah. And then the Khomeini regime started executing gay people.
Yep.
And what did Foucault do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
Nope. He hated Judeo-Christianity and the West so much that he was willing to accept the murder of fellow gay people in Iran.
Right.
So long as they, the mullahs, were set to destroy Judeo-Christianity.
Yeah.
That was more important to them.
Oh, yeah.
The man is, I'll give it to him, the agenda was crystal clear. He was willing to sacrifice.
Death and destruction.
That's
what they want.
An idiot.
And that's their consistency, is death and destruction.
That's right.
From abortion to the mullahs to Iran.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never mind that they themselves would be sucked up in that death and destruction.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's more important that they believe in the religion of death and destruction, as you mentioned, than the religion that promotes chaos and standards, not chaos, that promotes standards and morality.
Right.
That they can't abide.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this quite a bit. Anyway, the Western liberal media is also ignoring the Iranian uprising because explaining it would force an admission that it is desperate to avoid. I think this is from Fox News. The Iranian people are rebelling against Islam itself, and that fact shatters the moral framework through which these institutions understand the world. So, yes, exactly right. This, by the way, is just in. Iran is interested in assassinating Trump. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's right. This is what they said, I believe, on Twitter. No, X, yeah. Iran issues sickening assassination threat against Trump. This time, it will not miss the target.
Yeah.
Okay? Referring, obviously, to Butler.
Right.
And that is pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
Okay, so, look, I mean, the Iranians can't seem to help themselves. They don't know when to just shut up.
Yeah.
Okay? It's as if they want Trump to go in and attack them. That's a declaration of war, right?
Yeah.
We're going to kill you.
Yeah.
So come on and kill us now, right? This is what they did in I think it was October and then April, of October of 2024. They sent some missiles against Israel.
Yeah.
And it didn't do anything, but it gave the pretext to Israel to go and attack Iran. And they took out their air defense systems, as you may remember. Then, I believe it was April, there was another missile attack. And the Israelis said, okay, fine, now we're going in. And they did the 12-day war in June of 2025. Very good.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should have been, and that's the way it was. But I don't think the Iranians wanted that.
Right.
But now they're issuing this assassination threat. Do you understand that you're helping us get a pretext to go and attack you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a reason to go to war. Yeah.
So, I mean, take a listen to what our man, Mr. Donald Trump, had to say about this. I love it. This is a very good way of handling it. Check it out.
Americans woke up this morning and they saw that you said help is on the way.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a lot of help on the way and in different forms, including economic help from our standpoint, and not going to help Iran very much. And, we put Iran out of business with their nuclear capacity, and now, depending on what's actually happening, nobody's been able to give us accurate numbers about how many people they've killed.
Well, on that
but
point,
it looks
Mr.
like
President,
it could be a pretty substantial number, and that's going to be a lot of problems for them.
a lot of problems. On that point, you did say the U.S. would get involved if Iran started killing protesters.
Yeah.
They have, by the many thousands, according to reports.
Well, we'll see what that is. I've heard two numbers, but we'll see what that is.
Well, now we're hearing that they're going to start hanging protesters tomorrow. So it comes back to the question, have they crossed your red line, or has the line moved?
I haven't heard about the hanging. If they hang them, you're going to see some things that I don't know what where you come from and what your thought process is, but you'll perhaps be very happy.
Okay.
Wow.
I think that's pretty much a great indicator of what to expect here.
Yeah.
He said, look, we reserve the right to do what we want to do.
Right.
And he said to the Iranian people, help is on the way.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling, Devin, that by that he didn't mean that he's going to drop a whole bunch of Starbucks certificate cards, for free.
So he doesn't want to win.
Enjoy your cappuccino.
That would win the war right there,
Right.
If he did free Pilates classes, free Starbucks.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that would absolutely win.
That is help.
Yeah.
And help is on the way. I
Yeah.
mean, he said that. So I suspect
health.
that is my prediction, that he will drop certificates for Pilates classes.
Yeah.
And Starbucks cards.
Frappuccinos, stuff like that.
You could take it to the bank.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
help is on the way means that help is on the way. It's going to be military,
Right.
of course. And now with assassination threat, I think he's got more than enough pretext to do so. On the other hand, I suppose what his advisors and what he himself might think is, look, the Iranian people seem to be overthrowing the regime. It might be in a matter of days. Maybe we will wait a couple of times, because if the regime is overthrown by itself, by the Iranian people, no need to drop even a single bomb.
Yeah.
And that might be the calculus. However, I have a feeling that he's going to start dropping bombs shortly after this podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Meaning the day,
Yeah.
a day to 2 days after this podcast.
Right.
Because it's worked before. It will galvanize the Iranian people
Yeah.
to overthrow the institutions that he's already told them, go overthrow the institutions. Now, remember, this is what happened in, I believe it was 2009 or 2013. There was an attempted overthrow, or there was protests in the streets. It wasn't anything close to what this is now.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
And all the Iranian people needed to hear, those protesters, was, we are with you. Okay, but Obama couldn't say that.
No.
And maybe part of the reason why is he didn't want to have an overthrow.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. One is that he hated Israel enough that he wanted Iran to be an enemy, but that's super cynical on my part. I think the more realistic reason is that he was in the middle of negotiating the Iranian deal.
Yeah.
And how awful would it be if he couldn't overthrow the Iranian people, the Iranian regime, and then he says, "Okay, let's roll up our sleeves and negotiate this." They would be pissed off, and he was more interested in being a diplomat,
Yeah.
and making this great Iranian deal, and I put that in air quotes, than actually getting results that would affect the peace throughout the entire Middle East. He was so short-sighted. So again, I'm not cynical. That was realistic. But the first part was maybe he wanted that kind of the enemy of Israel to still survive.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the last thing you want is Israel
Right.
to thrive. God forbid.
Yeah.
So anyway, let me kind of say this about what's happening in Iran. I think it goes without saying that Iran is about to collapse.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised. I don't think that Trump will let Iran survive. He wants it to collapse on its own, but he will help push it to collapse.
Yeah.
And if it does, and assuming that it does, let's look back on October 7, 2023, and see it as the Pearl Harbor of its day.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor, keep in mind, I mean, the day of Pearl Harbor was a horrific day for America. Oh my gosh, this is a day that will live in infamy. It's terrible. And it was.
Yeah.
A lot of people died. I think 2,500 people died, mostly servicemen, but a lot of innocent people as well. And it caused the collapse of the imperial empire of Japan.
Yeah.
It caused the collapse of Hitler and all of fascism. It caused the collapse of the British Empire.
Yeah.
People don't know that.
Yeah.
It basically forced the entire empire to recall all of its soldiers from all over the world to defend the homeland of Britain.
Yeah. All of Europe, basically.
And that caused also the growth, the initiation of the American empire.
Yeah.
It completely changed the world, oddly enough, for the better. Okay, Germany became a democracy. Japan became a democracy. America became supreme and became a fantastic force of liberty for the whole world.
Right.
Many more democracies resulted from that. So as awful as Pearl Harbor was on that horrific day, and as great as the Japanese must have felt and so victorious as they must have felt, in the end, it was a disaster for them and for so many other of our enemies. So too is October 7.
Yeah.
Look at all the things that have happened as a result of October 7. Hezbollah has been completely neutered.
Yeah.
Okay, all the leadership, all of it has died. The beeper attack and everything else, but much more. Lebanon is now completely rid of Hezbollah. Hamas is almost completely neutered and completely decimated. Gaza will never be the Gaza that it was before.
No.
And they may very well take over Gaza and make it a commercial strip. Okay, that is a likely result.
Right.
I'm not saying it's the only result. It's not saying a certain result, but it's a very possible result. Syria has collapsed because of this, because Hezbollah was no longer able to protect al-Assad, Hafez Assad. I forget the first name, but Assad, the former dictator of Syria. Bashir, you're right.
Yeah.
They were not able to protect him anymore because he was from one tribe versus another, and the Hezbollah was protecting him.
Right.
They had to be forced back to Lebanon to defend themselves, leaving Bashir all alone. Okay.
Yeah.
So he collapsed. He had
Yeah.
to flee to Moscow, where I hear he's has a very nice life playing chess a lot. So that's good.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I've challenged him to a chess game. He won't play me. So
Actually, it would be fun.
that would be kind of, I tell you,
We could set this up. Yeah.
he just doesn't know when to castle. That's his problem. I mean, I will always win. Okay, I feel like I'm digressing here.
Yeah.
So Syria collapsed, and then the Houthis collapsed, and then now it looks like Iran, with a little stupid maneuvers of its own,
Yeah.
is going to collapse.
Yeah.
And it all traces back to October 7.
Yeah.
So everyone who participated in October 7, or any country or group that assisted financially or otherwise in October 7, in the planning and so on, they've all collapsed.
Yeah.
Okay, no one has come out clean. It's like the end of The Godfather, where Michael Corleone wipes out all the other families, all the enemies.
Right.
Not as quickly as, of course, but they're all gone.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that glorious moment when Iran collapses finally. And I think it's a done deal.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy about this. And I can say to those families who lost 1,200 people of the Israelis, 250 hostages also taken, and to say nothing of all the women and men that were raped and tortured,
Yeah.
your lives, your horrors will not have been in vain.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a new world coming out in the Middle East. Not only that, Devin, take
Yeah.
it one step further.
Right.
And this is something that people are not talking about, but they need to talk about.
Yeah.
Israel and America will come out as such strong players in the Middle East that they will all want to join the Abraham Accords
Oh, nice.
and say, I want to be with a winner.
Yeah.
Why would I fight Israel?
Right.
Everyone who fights Israel loses.
Yeah.
Am I an idiot to take on Israel? Really?
Yeah.
You think Israel's going to... Israel pulverized Iran.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more powerful than little old me, whatever little old, terrorist organization. We're not going to be destroyed by a small terrorist organization.
Yeah.
We took on the biggest of them all, Hezbollah and Hamas, and Iran, which was funding them all,
Right.
and we won.
Yeah.
It may be the dawn of a new time
I
in
sure
the Middle
hope so.
East.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there'll be more democracies. There'll be business deals with Israel, and then Israel can fight among itself, I suppose, because suddenly they'll have peace everywhere, and then they'll fight internally.
Or they'll have to, honestly, they're going to have to liberate France and England.
Oh, my
because
God.
they're turning into a caliphate soon. So
Oh, yeah.
that's going to be the next step. And hopefully they won't need another October 7th for that.
You
because,
are so right.
Yeah. But
Oh,
we
my gosh,
need,
you're so right.
yeah. But if they can bring it to the Middle East and then just push them up to Greenland or
Yes.
something, yeah.
Anyway, Trump is going to do really well with Iran now, and he's also canceled all meetings with Iran. He told, as I said, protesters that help is on the way. He also has now told all personnel in Qatar and otherwise to get out.
Yeah.
So something big is going to happen there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
He also advised all Americans to leave Iran. So I think something may be happening.
The biggest surprise on that is I didn't realize there are any Americans in Iran.
Yeah. No, there are. That's actually a pretty significant number.
Okay. Yeah.
This is from the Epoch Times. Iranian patriots, this is from Trump himself. Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I've canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops, he wrote on social media. Help is on its way. He ended his Truth Social post by writing MAGA, or Make Iran Great Again.
Oh, nice.
Also on Monday, Trump wrote that his administration will be imposing a 25% tariff on any country that does business with Iran. Some major economies that conduct trade with that country include China, Russia, Brazil, and the UAE. Okay?
Wow.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So big things are happening, and it's not even the middle of January yet.
Yeah.
2026, and we said this before, is going to be an amazing year, both for America and for Israel, for the Middle East at large, for peace at large. Amazing things are happening.
That is amazing.
And only Trump could do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's an expression, only Nixon can go to China, right? Have you heard that expression?
No.
It means that because Nixon was supposedly tough, he was the one that can make a peace deal with China.
Right.
And he opened up trade with China. Everyone kind of lauds that. It was a disaster in hindsight. It was historically a terrible decision.
Yeah.
You never negotiate with a dictatorship like that. But he did, and now we have the China that we know and love today. I think, but in this case, there needs to be an expression. Only Trump can do X, whatever it might be.
Right.
We need to be Trumpian in this. There'll be expressions like that in the future. That's very Trump-esque.
Right.
Meaning that the job will get done. I'll go full Trump on this.
Yeah.
Things like that will be said in the future.
Or what we need to do really, because the Pulitzer Peace Prize is a joke and not legitimate,
Yes.
is have a Trump prize for
Ooh.
someone who actually literally brought peace.
I
Someone
like that.
who the mainstream media, whoever funds them, doesn't like, but actually showed results.
Yes.
There should be a reward for that, and Trump should get that first thing, and it should start for other people, for Vance and Rubio and everyone out like next, who will actually make the world better.
Okay, go on with that.
Yeah. Because we don't need the Pulitzer anymore, because all they do is just it's DEI. It's something that they don't actually care about, where Trump is actually bringing results in Venezuela. Hopefully he does so in Mexico, which you predicted, and Cuba, just for the 57 Chevys. Hopefully he brings, Iran looks like it's going, and Qatar and UAE are going to move to the right side, which is just amazing.
These are wonderful times.
Yeah.
What we're experiencing now is something that will never come again in years to come, God willing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm concerned a little bit about Turkey, the country Turkey, but let's cross that bridge. God forbid that we ever get to it, but I think it's possible.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jacob Frey, he and many other comments about suing Trump, right? Because they should be allowed to do what they need to do. And what I find very interesting, you've heard about this story about this woman. What's her name? Good,
Good,
first
yeah,
name?
something like that. I don't even know.
Rachel
Yeah.
Good. Anyway,
Yeah, Rachel. Yeah.
Lesbian. And I bring that up only because there seems to be this push to throw white women into this activist rage.
Yeah.
And perhaps that makes the protesters look more sympathetic, but they don't know what they're protesting.
No.
It's a weird duck, right? So they're saying, listen to Jacob Frey, who is the mayor of Minneapolis. Listen to what he has to say and how evil, that ICE is and everything else. Anyway, we'll play it right here. You have it? Go ahead and play.
The number of ICE agents and border control are now in the thousands. They are in the thousands. If the goal was immigration enforcement If the goal were simply to look for people that are undocumented, Minneapolis and St. Paul would not be the place where you would go. There are countless more people that are undocumented in Florida and Texas and Utah. Why are they in these much smaller cities in the middle of the Midwest? The answer is very clear. It is politics. Florida and Texas and Utah are Republican states. The reason that Minnesota and Minneapolis are being targeted is because you've got a Democratic governor, a Democratic attorney general, and you got Democratic mayors.
Or perhaps it's because your city and your state are crazy.
Yeah.
And they're engaging in these massive unlawful protests that need some attention.
Yeah.
There are ICE immigration officers going after illegal aliens everywhere.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones protesting this in your crazy city, and then you're surprised that there are these violent protests and that ICE has to arrest a lot of these protesters. It's so shocking to you.
Yeah. And this actually doesn't track if you think about it, where you have, you're just taking away our illegal immigrants who are committing fraud on our people because you hate us.
Yes.
How does that in any way track?
No, it doesn't track at all. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because he says in that same speech, he talks about, blue city, blue state. It's all about racism. It's unconstitutional. He doesn't bring a single example of it.
Right.
Not one. He talks about it not being a normal immigration enforcement. He says that they drag pregnant women, teenagers who are citizens. And nowhere does he mention in this glorious statement, and where Keith Ellison, who is the AG in Minnesota, he also speaks at that same time, nowhere do they mention all the agitation that this might be in response. It's in a very, the chutzpah of them to say, again, it's as if somebody, attacks you, throws his arms flailing, starts taking out a club, and starts beating you senseless, and you punch back, and they say, look at this man. He's punching this man.
Right.
That's a horrible thing, what Devin did.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you do is pretty, generally speaking, horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But in this particular case, my example, you're punching somebody, and they don't show all the things that preceded it, right?
Yeah.
So, look, then he talks about, this is not happening in Utah and Florida and Texas. Gosh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Because people are respecting the obligations of the ICE officers. Could that be possibly the reason?
Yeah.
And then he says people are afraid to go. Keith Ellison said that people are afraid to go to school and to work. Well, maybe don't interfere.
Yeah.
How about that? I mean, you're the ones causing all these riots,
right,
and these protests and these arrests. Well, maybe if they don't do that and just let ICE do what need to do, then we'll be fine.
Right.
And then he says they're going after non-criminals. Okay,
good.
And Ellison says the reason why we are going after Minnesota in particular is because Trump doesn't like us and how nice we are.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, Trump did say that.
Yeah, that they're nice.
In fairness, he said, I'm going after the Minnesotans because I don't like how nice they are.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of how nice they are.
They were so nice to the paid, organized, trained protesters from other states that came on to do this. This is not like organic. And that's the biggest thing they're putting off. These are people who are trained and funded to do this.
Absolutely. And we now know that there is, actually a great Matt Walsh investigation. He talked about how George Soros is actually behind all this indirectly through, multiple layers of organizations.
Yeah.
So that it can't be really easily traced to him, but it's not that hard to trace it back to him. He's funding all this. And there's got to be a leader behind all this. You know that. I mean, this is not organic, like you just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have them funding the judges, the prosecutors who won't prosecute, and the protesters. There's got to be a law against that. Like, I don't know if that's... Yeah. It's...
So Keith Ellison said that the reason why they're doing this is because of the skin color or the accent that they hear, whether they're Somali or they appear Hispanic. Okay, get them. Right. Well, where do you get that?
Yeah.
Who says that? Any illegal alien. It just, what do you expect? You expect a guy with the last name O'Sullivan, to be an illegal alien from Mexico. Surprise, a lot of them will be Hispanic.
Yeah.
A lot. And a lot of the Somalis are also illegal here. A lot of them are committing fraud.
Yeah.
Or lied otherwise on their naturalization application and such like that. So it's time to go.
Yeah, and if you have somebody actually from Killarney, Ireland, who's committing fraud and sexually assaulting women, every conservative is going to want them to go.
Right.
No one's saying let them stay.
Exactly. And you would expect them to make this argument.
Yeah.
That, look, here is O'Connor coming from Ireland. We always use Ireland for some reason. And he's an illegal alien, but he's Irish, so we like him. Let's keep him here. No, they can't bring up a single example of this. They decide what we're thinking.
Right.
That the reason why we're going after these people is because of their skin color or their accent. That's they impute that purpose, that intent to us.
Right.
But they don't give any examples.
No.
Okay. Now, oddly enough, they're the ones who were pushing for all this illegal immigration, or this immigration, generally speaking, from all countries all over the world, and to lessen the immigration from Europe.
Yeah.
So, surprise, most of our immigration is coming from Africa, from South America, from Central America, and so on. And then when we got to deport people, it's a very high chance that that person being deported is from Africa or the Middle East or from South America, Central America too. And then they say racism.
Yeah, of course they do.
They created the pool that is now arriving illegally.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would agree with you that there's racism if you could show that there are white people that we're not deporting who are here illegally.
Right.
Show us that.
Yeah.
And give us a graph, and then I'll say, yeah, that seems wrong.
100%. And I want them all gone.
Yes.
If you're here illegally, just go and do it the right way.
Yeah,
don't come back. But
you know it.
They're
That's
never going to do that.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So Tim Walz just gave a speech, and you insisted that I bring him on because you said that he's so good looking, and you have a little. Why do you have a poster of him in your house?
I am not the only one.
I want to bring this up now.
We all have a memorial to him. How beautiful he is. It's a hope chest. It has candles.
All right. I, for one, don't find him that attractive, but à chacun son goût, as they say. Yeah. All right. Tim Walz just delivered a message, a very important message about ICE presence in Minnesota.
My fellow Minnesotans, what's happening in Minnesota right now defies belief. News reports simply don't do justice to the level of chaos and disruption and trauma the federal government is raining down upon our communities. 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers. And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process. Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government.
All right. I think my favorite part of this is when he said that he goes on, the ICE agents go door to door, demanding people to point out their neighbors who are people of color.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see that on film. Like a nice agent, where are your people of color? Tell me now. Oh, he's right there.
Yeah, because they're so undertrained, they can't tell if somebody's black or Hispanic. They're like, you all look white to me. I can't tell.
I can't tell.
It's colorblind. That's not racist. Right. But yeah, come on.
Show me your people of color. I mean, like, we live in a time full of videos.
Yeah.
And where the protesters are not taking videos, the ICE agents themselves have body cams.
Yep.
There's not one that has surfaced out of all these raids where you can say anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But they're telling you what we are thinking, and then we're dragging. You get this image of this ICE agent saying, "Oh, there's an 8-month pregnant woman. Let's just drag her out." And it's like as they're dragging out through the window unnecessarily, of course.
Yeah.
And it's like jagged glass, and she's being cut up and everything else as they're dragging her out the window when they could be dragging her out through the door.
Right.
Because why not give her as much pain as possible? I mean, that's what I assume.
Exactly.
The cartoonish way that he speaks is just beyond.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anything like this?
Yeah.
No, but this is an example to our theme. They cannot imagine a world other than as they see it.
Yeah.
It does not compute to them that Trump could be doing this for the purpose of deporting people who really should not be here. And they try to make a distinction between, I don't know that he does it here in this speech or not, but a distinction between those illegal aliens who have a big criminal record and those who are just here illegally, period.
Which is a crime.
Which is a crime. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Like Trump did say, we're going to focus on those who have criminal records. Well, fair enough, okay?
Right.
But don't say that it's not proper for him to deport people who don't have criminal records other than coming in the country illegally. No, they're not here legally. Done. Okay, we gave them an opportunity. We said, leave by yourself and you'll have the chance to come back in line. I think that's more than fair.
Yeah.
But that's not acceptable to the left. They can never admit that they're wrong.
No.
At no point. All right. This is, I don't know. I expect great things to come out of all this at the end of the day. But man, oh man, you see these Be Good pins at the Golden Globes, right? So that's a cute play. I have to say, my hat's off to you. Right? Well done with your wordplay there. But it ends up that the narrative that they said about this woman was utterly false. They presented her as just this woman who just was so happy and just wanted everyone to be nice and just was taking her child to nursery school and, presumably sang in the church choir. And when she was in high school, I'm sure she was an honor student.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And volunteered for soup kitchens or whatever. Everything was right. And then suddenly these ICE bastards came in and just killed her.
Yeah.
They just did.
Yeah. Executed her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Monsters.
Didn't stand a chance.
She did not try to run over that ICE agent. No. She was not trying to block their efforts and such.
Yeah.
This is getting awful. It's really awful. And I really want to get the impression of the ordinary citizen there, what his impressions might be.
Yeah.
Well, you, sir. Tell us. You seem like a normal and calm and not unstable man. Tell us what your impressions are of what's happening with ICE in Minnesota.
ICE fucking shot a protester in the eye! A peaceful protester holding a fucking megaphone! Not a weapon, not a threat! And they shot him with the bullet point blank and blinded him! Then they dragged him away while people were screaming, "Leave him alone!" This isn't law enforcement! This is fascist-ass brutality! And if that wasn't enough, in Maryland, ICE detained a mother of 4 on her way to fucking work! Her 15-year-old son was dying of cancer! And that monster-ass agency said, no, she couldn't say goodbye! No, she couldn't hold his hand one last time! No, she might not even get to go to the goddamn funeral! This is cruelty! This is the definition of a heartless, system-sanctioned, cold-blooded evil!
Well, I will say it, don't spray it. But I do, sir, thank you very much. By the way, what I do take out from this is I really do like his mustache.
He's growing a nice mustache.
I think we heard from him before.
Yeah.
And he's grown a very nice mustache.
Yeah.
So good for you. I don't know quite what else you were saying, but I like the mustache.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm pretty sure you're saying January 6th protesters were treated really bad.
Right.
And they
like
had
that.
no due process whatsoever. And everybody should have that as a citizen.
That is my impression.
That is mine too.
That is, okay, good. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
You were very good at summarizing the gist of what people are really saying.
Yeah.
And if he didn't say it, that's what I think he was meaning.
That's what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trump is ending the temporary protective status for Somalis.
Nice.
What?
They should never have had it in the first place.
But they were so nice.
Yeah.
But it's only been like 34 years. I don't get it why he jumped the gun like this.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh.
Oh my God.
But don't you think it's a little brash, a little, sudden?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just a couple of seconds when you think of all the time in the universe that's passed, right? I mean, it's cosmically, it's a blip.
Yeah.
So, but why? So why now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racism.
Minnesota, we love you. But yeah, of course, and the temporary protective status. This was absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, what did Reagan say? There's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program.
Yep.
And this is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Temporary protective status for Somalis. And the liberals are outraged that Trump has lifted the temporary protective status. What is it about the word temporary that you don't understand?
Yeah.
Okay. You had your shot. That's almost 2 generations. Okay. That's more than a year. Temporary is temporary.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can't admit that they're wrong. They just can't. All right. This transgender fight in court. We talked a little bit about it before, right?
Transgender fight.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So they had this hearing recently, and it doesn't look good for the transgender team.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh. Yeah.
They seem inclined to uphold the state's transgender athlete bans.
Nice.
Yeah. Take it from Alito here. I think this is worth hearing.
We do not have a definition for the court, and we don't take issue with we're not disputing the definition here. What we're saying is that the way it applies in practice is to exclude birth sex males categorically from women's teams, and that there's a subset of those birth sex males where it doesn't make sense to do so according to the state's own interest.
Well, how can a court determine whether there's discrimination on the basis of sex without knowing what sex means?
Checkmate. Right? I mean, this is the whole point, is like you want the protections based upon somebody who decides that he's a woman.
Yeah.
But you can't define what a woman is. So it makes it impossible. It's like prosecuting someone for going over the speed limit.
Yeah.
I'm just, this is just, a spitballing here. You say he's going 85. But then you can't say what 85 miles an hour is.
What's a mile?
What's a mile?
What's a rate?
I haven't defined it yet.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, they want to be treated like a woman, but they still don't know what a woman is.
Yeah.
But wink, wink, we all know what a woman is. So it's all a farce. And the farce is made more manifest by every transgender person. It's at least a man wanting to become a woman. They go to the most extreme traditional look of a woman. They are more woman, and I put that in quote, than any traditional woman. They have gobs of makeup.
Yeah.
They wear the most long dress possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes lingerie if they want to make themselves feel extra sexy.
Yeah.
The earrings are all gobbed up. The hair is all gobbed up. No woman actually walks this way.
No.
They're far more understated than the transgenders who are just doing a cartoon version of what they feel a woman dresses like.
Yeah.
So clearly they have an idea of what a woman is.
Right.
Right? So either you know what a woman is or you don't. And of course they do know.
Yeah.
Why doesn't somebody ever say a woman is somebody who has double X chromosomes in every cell, no Y chromosomes? They don't have a penis. They have a vagina. And they have a lot of other feminine organs in there, like a womb, like ovaries. Okay? And their bodies are coursing with estrogen and very little testosterone. How about that?
Yeah.
Is that hard? We know these things biologically.
Right.
And they have breasts. And we don't. Okay, they have mammary glands. What is a woman? You don't know what a woman is? That's not enough for you?
Right.
You could take any one of those things and say that's a woman.
It's not that hard.
It's just not that hard.
But then they're going into our schools particularly, decidedly, and messing with kids' heads.
Yes.
Impressionable children. And how serious and messed up that is.
Yes.
And how abusive and horrible that is.
What's interesting also is that when a when you're doing a sonogram and you don't have kids, I have kids.
Yeah.
We could tell if it was a boy or a girl right away. Why? Because we saw a penis.
Yeah.
It's a boy. This is even before he was born.
Right.
Boom.
It's not a question. It's not hard.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're confused.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
We're not the confused ones.
No. Thank you. There you go. He continues on with a very nice little slap on the transgenders, against the transgender side. This is Alito.
There are an awful lot of female athletes who are strongly opposed to participation by trans athletes in competitions with them. What do you say about them? Are they bigots? Are they deluded in thinking that they are subjected to unfair competition?
No, Your Honor, I would never call anyone that. And I think what we're saying here is that that's the reason why there is intermediate scrutiny, or even in rational review, you don't legislate based on undifferentiated fears. You base on trying to make a rational response to what is a perceived issue. I think here, although I would take issue with the notion that there was no reference to transgender individuals in the creation of this law, I really would direct the court to JA. Again, this is not about...
Okay, so she kind of rambles on. She doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about the question itself is, are they bigots?
Yeah. Who cares?
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Alito was saying, are they bigots? And
Yeah.
she said, no, I would never say that. Okay, well then what's the problem here?
Yeah.
So they're not actually being discriminated against. If you yourself are saying that they're not bigots.
Right.
And then she can't seem to define the man and woman situation once again. And then she talks about the standard of a review. Now, this is important for a lot of non-lawyers out there.
Yeah.
You learn this in law schools on the first year, constitutional law. There are 3 standards of review.
Yeah.
One is a rational basis. That means, it comes up to the Supreme Court, and is there a rational basis for this law?
Right.
Period. That's it. So, for example, let's say, going back to the speed limit, right? There's a freeway zone or section of the freeway where the speed limit is 10 miles an hour. Okay?
Right.
And putting aside the federal funds and everything else, just a state says 10 miles an hour between this place and that place. And people don't like it. And they say, we don't want it. And the state says, no, we want that because we want to reduce accidents here. That's it. We had 2 accidents here because people were going very fast. And by going 10 miles an hour, that really limits the chances. Okay, it's a rational basis.
Yeah.
Rational. And if the standard is a rational basis, then the thing is probably going to fly. Okay, it's going to pass constitutional muster. Let's go to the other extreme.
Yeah.
And that is what we call strict scrutiny. That's the highest level of scrutiny. Now, if the standard of review is strict scrutiny, then you're almost certainly going to determine that the law in question is unconstitutional.
Okay.
That, generally speaking, applies to issues of race.
Okay.
So if you were to say, for example, that blacks should be separated in schools or in sporting events or otherwise because you think that would be, avoid racial tension, that law will be struck down because it's under strict scrutiny. We looked at that very scrutinizingly. It doesn't matter whether you have any sort of rationale to it. We are going to strike it down.
Yeah.
So almost always, the standard of review almost always dictates the result.
I got you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
The middle one, and it's not used as much, is heightened scrutiny.
Okay. Yeah.
And that, generally speaking, applies to women. Generally. It has in the past, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the theory is, look, we want to separate men and women from
Right.
bathrooms because it's dangerous to have men with women in bathrooms and locker rooms and so on like that.
Right.
We have this understanding that it's probably not a good idea. Same thing with prisons, for example, men and women in prisons. So in that context, we have a heightened scrutiny, but it's not strict scrutiny. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, if the law separates men and women, it's going to be okay. We understand that. We'll still raise one eyebrow. Okay. And strict scrutiny is what I call the 2 eyebrows rule. Okay. Wow, that should not be happening.
Yeah.
And this woman is talking about even on a rational basis. She's conflating rational basis and heightened scrutiny basis. And she wants to go back and forth between them. And she's trying to argue that even under the rational basis standard, these laws should not be allowed to stand.
Wow. Yeah.
But the rational basis standard means it will be allowed to stand.
Yeah.
Almost, like I said, the standard of review almost always dictates the result. And then you could tell she was kind of going for the heightened scrutiny as well, but it still wouldn't matter. She cannot argue possibly the strict scrutiny.
Right.
Because transgender would never fall under the strict scrutiny standard.
Yeah.
So this thing is going to collapse.
I sure hope so. Yeah.
But because you asked, we're going to hear Ketanji Brown Jackson speak, and I want you to listen to her because of the genius of her words.
The most learned woman
She's
ever.
The most learned.
Kagan, I'm not sure I understand why you're characterizing the as-applied challenge in practice as the individual coming back and proposing a different classification, as though we're doing an analysis of the classification in the way that you suggest. I thought that the state has a classification that is its general rule. No individuals who identify as female but were sex at birth male can play in women's sports. And that the individual then is merely seeking an exception.
Okay, so I feel like I'm that woman in the movie Airplane when she's listening to the story of the main character and she decides to kill herself. She's got a rope around her and she's tying her. Like, that's what's happening when I'm listening to her. She makes no sense. This is truly, they described it as word salad, and here you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the good news is, salad is good for you.
Yeah.
So there's always a silver lining to this crime. What an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just awful.
Yeah.
And I would just shut up. Okay. You're better off saying nothing.
Yeah.
Because I can't understand what she's saying. And if you continue on listening, you'll understand even less.
Yeah.
And she herself in the confirmation hearing said she didn't know what a woman was.
So she should recuse herself. Yeah.
You need to be a biologist.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
It's not common use words.
No.
Yeah.
But you know that when she refers to a secretary or a staffer or whatever that is a woman, she'll readily say she, and her all the time.
Yeah.
It's such BS.
Yeah.
They know what a woman is because they routinely refer to that person knowing that she's a woman. They didn't wait for her to tell her that please refer to me as a woman, as a she and a her. They just say it.
Yeah.
And if, God forbid, they say, please, I'm not a she or he, I'm a he, okay, then presumably she would say, oh, I'm so sorry. I will say it from now on. I'll try to remember. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a ma'am, not a sir. Remember that one? I'll show you a sir.
But if somebody's stopping an abortion, she's going to know the gender.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be no question. It was a man praying that somebody doesn't kill their young.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's all so pathetic. I really hate what's going on. At the same time, I laugh at what's going on.
Yeah.
And nowhere in this do the left actually look at themselves and say, are we crazy?
Oh, they know they're crazy.
They know it.
Yeah.
And they don't stop to think of, like, what kind of impact does this have on the general electorate? This is going to be, once again, in case they didn't realize it, they lost in 2024 because there was a sense that the country was in chaos.
Yeah.
And here you have exactly the same thing going on with the transgender stuff. It was not a winner. It was an 80-20 issue.
Yeah.
And they still push it. They're idiots. All right. Bill and Hillary are having some troubles.
No, they're so nice.
Bill and Hillary Clinton refused on Tuesday to testify in the House's Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
Yeah.
This is from New York Times. Escalating a months-long battle with its Republican leader Representative James R. Comer of Kentucky, who quickly said he would take steps to hold them in contempt. Every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and are ready to fight for this country, its principles, and its people, no matter the consequences, the Clintons wrote in a lengthy letter to Mr. Comer. The chairman of the House Oversight Committee, which was obtained by the New York Times. For us, they said, now is that time.
God.
And it's in a single, sentence,
Right.
one sentence paragraph.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
So they're turning this into a moment of patriotic, defiance.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
and
dun,
I
dun.
wonder, what they think Comer is thinking when he reads this letter. Like, whoa, my heart just sank. Woo, you really threw it at me, and I just zing.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the example of message sent and message received.
Yeah.
The message that they're sending is like, we are standing tall and firm and proud. Never mind that I probably, played around with young minor girls.
Oh, he definitely did. Yeah.
That's beside the point.
Yeah.
I just refuse to appear for your nonsense, sir.
Yeah.
Well, but we did notice that you were on the planes and you were on Epstein Island quite a few times, and we just want to ask you a couple of questions. We're not indicting you. We're having you come to Congress to ask you some questions under oath.
Yeah. And he visited the White House.
Yes.
It's part of the logs. They know it.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
They say that this is New York Times again, Mr. Comer's relentless efforts to force them to testify reflect his overall approach to the panel's Epstein inquiry. He has sought to deflect focus from President Trump's ties to the convicted sex offender. Oh, man.
God.
This is Comer. The Comer has sought to deflect it. God forbid.
Yeah.
Whatever we can do to not deal with Trump. And we'll focus on Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great distraction. You see, it's a distraction.
Yeah. Because that's all they do.
Yeah. What there were references. Remember the references?
Yeah.
The great references. Capital G, capital R.
Yeah.
The day of the references.
The day of the references.
I think it's a James Bond movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Octopussy, the man with the golden gun. Day of the references. Instead, he worked to shift the spotlight onto prominent Democrats who once associated with Mr. Epstein and his longtime companion, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein visited the White House 17 times, like you said, while Bill Clinton was president, Mr. Comer said on Tuesday. Speaking to reporters, no one's accusing Bill Clinton of anything, any wrongdoing. We just have questions. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Comer has threatened to hold the Clintons in contempt if they fail to appear. That's exactly what has happened. Let's see. The Clintons consider the subpoenas invalid and legally unenforceable, and then followed up with a scorching missive. A missive. But they signed jointly. Oh, well, then it's more powerful. Promising to fight Mr. Comer on the issue for as long as it took. You know that they're serious.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how it is invalid and legally unenforceable, not so clear.
Does not say.
So it's an 8-page letter.
An 8-page letter.
So it's got to say it in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. The Clintons noted that they proactively provided Mr. Comer with sworn statements. Good enough. I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Therefore, shut up and stop with the subpoenas.
Yeah.
They just don't want to be grilled. They don't want to be, to someone say, but sir, why were you there on the island?
Yeah.
We have some witness statements saying that you were there.
Yeah.
And we want to know more about that. Okay. Anyway, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot more talk about this. And then they talk about the fact that there was a measure about the Epstein Island situation.
Yeah.
And it was bipartisan. And now James Comer said that his committee is moving to hold President Bill Clinton in contempt. Woohoo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he didn't show up on January 13.
Yeah.
To testify in the inquiry.
Bannon had to do prison. Navarro had to do prison. I want them to, it's like a football game where you want them to win way too much. I don't think anything's going to happen to them. I think the message sent is we are above the law completely and have always been. And I think the message received is Republicans, for some reason, agree.
Here's the question.
I sure hope not.
Will they be willing to throw Bill Clinton under the bus?
No.
I think they will be. I think they have to. They have to sacrifice him. He's old, very old.
Right.
Hillary Clinton hates him. And I don't know that they can get out of it. I think that at some point they have to sacrifice somebody.
I don't know. I keep on going back to the Jan 6 versus Antifa.
I know. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
But just hear me out.
Yeah.
If the Democrats throw Bill Clinton under the bus,
right,
and they have him not only held in contempt, but eventually convicted for very inappropriate stuff with minor girls, then they can say, look, we threw one of our own into jail for this horrible conduct, and now it's Donald Trump's turn.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's too brazen.
Right.
The evidence is much stronger. In fact, there's no evidence against Trump, just references that, hello, I'm referring to Trump. That doesn't mean that he engaged in inappropriate conduct.
No.
And of course, we all know that it would have been pulled out during the Biden years had there been anything there.
100%.
And you know they were digging deeply.
Yeah.
All right. Gas and oil prices way down.
Nice.
Reduction of gas prices. And guess who's taking credit for it in California?
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom.
Yep.
You were right.
Our savior.
So let me get this straight. So the regulations have been dismantled, and the spigot has been wide open, so that supply has been increased dramatically, that even prices in California have gone down dramatically to a mere $4.25 per gallon. But still, it's a lot better than it was when it was $6, almost $7.
Yeah.
And that is chutzpah beyond belief.
Right.
They try to they still have massive taxes in California on these gas situations, but they will take credit for anything. They'll take credit for the lowering of the inflation rate. They'll take credit for that matter, the end of Iran as we know it. They'll take credit for closing the borders. Somehow they'll take credit for it. So not a surprise. But look, this is going to be great for the 2026 midterms. Trump has fantastic talking points. Inflation's down, prices are down. You're going to be able to afford a house and everything else. It's very important.
Yeah.
We talked about 5.6%, 5.4% GDP. That's insanely good.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got the Greenland situation. That's coming up again. I love this.
Liberate Greenland from their savage ways.
Yes. I love it. So far discussions are going nowhere.
Yeah.
But Trump can go in there anyway. We have the military permission to go in. We can occupy Greenland. We have that authority.
Yeah.
But we'd rather do it with the assent of the Greenland people, and for that matter, Denmark.
Yeah.
So they can do it the easy way or the hard way. We'll see what happens. He's offering to pay a lot of money. It's a little bit like the mafia. What a lovely place you have here. What a shame it would be if something happened to it.
Right.
Let me give you some money and we'll protect you. Sound good?
Yeah.
I know you. And then he grabs by the cheek. I knew I could count on you. Right? That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Look, the reality is Greenland is essential for the defense of America. That is our argument. I think it's correct. Trump has been right about everything when it comes to these issues. Now, before you think that I agree with everything about Trump, I want to speak about three things that I disagree about.
Okay.
One is that Trump proposes to prohibit corporations from buying residential properties. Okay. That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, it's basic economics. If you're a seller, that means that your values will plummet. Okay, if there are a serious amount of corporations who are buying properties and they are part of the market and therefore part of the reason why your values are so high, then as soon as you disallow them from buying the properties, then your property values will plummet. Okay, you're taking out a huge portion of the possible buyers.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you say, well, that's a small portion of it, Barak, it won't affect that much. Okay, if that's the case, then why are we doing this?
Right.
Why are we having this rule?
Yeah.
You only want to do the rule if it has a serious impact.
Right.
But the impact is on in both directions. It impacts both the buyer's ability to buy and also the seller's ability to sell.
Yeah.
You can't have a buyer without a seller.
Right.
So that's a mistake.
Yeah.
And not only that, but people get around it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because, okay, so let's say you're a corporation, you want to buy a whole bunch of properties. So you just have a bunch of individuals buy it, this or that property, and then they conglomerate it together, and then they assign it to a corporation.
Right.
Dude, there you go.
Now, is he doing just like foreign like, is China buying all of our real estate, or is this domestic
He's talking about regular
companies?
domestic corporations.
Okay.
Which is a big problem also because there are many LLCs. People own a lot of properties in LLCs.
Right. Most people do, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, for all sorts of reasons, and that's legitimate. Maybe you'll have to prove it, and it's going to be a very delicate nightmare.
Right.
But if the answer is we want to have people be able to buy properties, then guess what? Develop more properties.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the answer. If people cannot buy homes at a reasonable rate, then a developer, if you let him, should be able to develop homes.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
And as a buyer, if you can't buy it, let's say in Los Angeles, and you say, oh, it's crazy. I'm making $300,000 a year. I can't afford a nice home in a safe area.
Right.
Okay, move.
Yeah.
Okay, but buy in a different area. What's so crazy about that?
Yeah.
Anyway, same thing. Then the reduction of interest rates on credit cards to 10%. I disagree with that.
Do you?
It sounds nice.
Yeah.
It sounds really nice. But now pretend you're the credit card company, okay?
Right.
Why do you think they're charging 23%? Tell me.
Greed.
Okay. That's what the liberals will say. Greed.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's some greed.
No, they want to make business.
They're not trying to help out the world.
No. It's like people say the same thing about minimum wage.
Right.
They say, oh, it's greed that they won't pay them $20 an hour. Okay, it's exactly the same argument. So you're wrong about that.
Okay.
Okay. Credit card companies compete with each other, just like any other business. Okay. They want your business.
Right.
So people go to the lower interest rates, right? But the interest rates are indeed anywhere between 18 and 23%.
Right.
If you default on your payment or you're late in your payment. So that's the price of money.
Right.
The reason why they charge so much is that so many people default on their credit card obligations that the only way to make up for it is a high interest rate for those who can pay it.
Right.
Okay? It's a big problem.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen if you make it only 10%? Okay?
There's going to be a lot less credit.
There you go.
Yep.
That's right. You're going to give a credit card only to those people who have, 650 at least credit scores.
Right.
If you have a 600 or less, forget about it.
Yeah.
You're not getting a credit card. Or you might get a credit card with a $100 limit. Okay? Fine. Have at it.
Right.
That's it. That's what's going to happen. And you have to understand that every policy has an impact.
Right.
And you think the credit card companies are just going to say, okay, yeah, we'll continue to do it 10%. They're going to lose money.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to cut off the supply to those who don't have fantastic credit.
Right.
It's the way it works, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, the milk thing. I just saw this. He's promoting whole milk and everything else, and this is the whole milk act.
Oh, unpasteurized milk? Yeah.
And somehow that's really healthy for you. Okay. As you know, I don't eat dairy. I'm not a big fan of dairy.
Yeah.
Okay? I personally feel dairy is not good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do what you want to do. I think we should be promoting a lot more plant-based stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I like fish, by the way.
Right.
And kosher fish is really good for you. Okay. But dairy, not so good for you. That's my 2 cents about that.
Yeah.
If you promote a non-dairy lifestyle, plant-based, that is probably the healthiest way to live.
Right.
Okay. So I disagree with him on that. But this is I pointed out 3 things just now that I disagree with him on.
Because you're not in a cult.
I'm not in a cult. Exactly.
You can
right.
disagree with him or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
And God forbid, and I've said this before on the show, that if we were to find out that Trump had engaged in any sort of inappropriate behavior with minor girls or anybody on Epstein Island or anywhere for that matter, I'd say get him the hell out.
Yeah.
Replace him with another conservative, a good conservative. But I don't want him just because I like him. No. But the evidence is not there.
Right.
It turns out he's actually a good man.
Yeah.
So tough luck. You've got the perverts,
right.
Not us.
Yeah.
You're the ones with Drag Queen Story Hour and encouraging kids to somehow have to sexualize them and to encourage them to think of themselves as the other gender and think about homosexuality in all sorts of imaginative ways and everything else. And then you talk about, minor attracted persons instead of pedophiles, right?
Instead of dead man walking. Yeah.
These are your words, not mine, not ours. Okay, we think you're perverts.
Right.
Okay, so surprise. I'm not surprised at all that Epstein, Democrat, Clinton, Democrat, they're the ones thinking that they're above the law.
Right.
And they can do what they will. I'm not saying that all Republicans are perfect.
No.
But I am saying that a lot of the perversion seems to be on the left, not on the right.
And I'll say just one thing with Epstein. Epstein visited Clinton a bunch of times. He was obsessed with power. Of course he wants to get in with Trump. Trump became president. It was obvious he had all of this power and all of this love from anybody. Of course Epstein wanted to be in with him. I'm sure like Bill Gates, he wanted to be in with him too. I'm sure Steve Jobs, he wanted to be in with him.
Yep.
These are not like, it's not a mystery why you'd want to do it, you know?
You're absolutely right. And the idea that somehow the fact that they had a friendship, which ended, I believe, in the 90s, 1993 or so, when he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. You may discover that one of your friends did something awful. You don't want to be friends with them anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Trump.
Yeah.
They can't get around that.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the quality and the decency and morality of Donald J. Trump.
Yep.
Okay. And I love this man. I'm so glad he's our leader. And we need more of it.
Yeah.
So, Democrats, we welcome you to the fold. Many of you are leaving the Democrat Party because you are beginning to realize, you know what, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I had a wrong impression of many issues. And once I told myself, could I be wrong? That opened the door to enable me to say I might be wrong on other things. And if you do that, you will inexorably, inevitably, indubitably, certainly move to the Republican Party.
Yep.
You'll be a conservative at the very least.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. We will welcome you with the open arms that you deserve, and we will thank you for it. And like that woman said that we played a video of, she said, I had TDS syndrome, right?
Yeah.
And I feel so much happier now that I'm no longer an anti-Trump loon. I feel happier. I feel more productive. And she said, I feel even more attractive.
Right.
And you know what? She is.
Yeah.
She is. There's nothing more attractive to a man than a woman who is happy and comfortable with her femininity and just has a good, joyful step in her walk.
Right.
All right, folks, I think that's good enough for tonight. And we'll say, this is Barak Lurie signing off, saying God bless, be strong, and we'll talk with you next week.